We have created the flat cable on the plus Z axis, but actually we can create it also on the Y or X, which will lead to different results. So if we test it like that one, you see this is on the Y axis and also on the X-axis, which is not really something we want right now because it creates all the strands, let's say, into one single wire. But if we select the endpoint and if we change the rotation, we will have the flat cable correct. So let's actually let the user choose on which axis he wants the flat cable to be generated. So we will add a few variables, which we will call x, y, and z. They will be of Boolean type, and let's call them x. Let's add new one, y, and z. We will use the z one as default. Let's plug it here. And the way we will use them is we will multiply the vector by each individual coordinate. So let's add another math node. We'll use multiply. We will feed the value here. And the other one will be multiplied by the strand diameter. And we will feed the value into x. Let's copy the entire setup with Ctrl+C, Ctrl+V. Let's plug y and the strand diameter, and let's do the same for the z-axis. Okay, this and that. Okay, let's plug it into the y and z, and we have our cable strand on the z-axis. If we set it to 0, we can change it to x or y. Let's get back to the z-axis. Okay, we have our flat cable already, and let's add some material to it. So we'll add the new geometry node, which is called set material. We will plug it between the finished mesh and the output. And let's go to the material tab, create a new material. Okay, and let's name it flat cable. Okay, so let's go to shading tab. Zoom to the cable, and let's switch to the rendered. I prefer it. Okay, the way this will work is we will assign a random color to each individual strand. So it's pretty simple. Let's search for object info. Let's add a color ramp. Okay, let's add some points. This is enough for now. We will change the color to something else so we can see. Let's put it to blue. This one to green, red, and yellow. Okay. We will use the random output as the factor, and we will feed the color to the base color. And nothing happened. Why is that? Because I think we didn't assign the flat cable material to the set material setup. So let's actually assign it, and let's go back to shading tab, and here we have our flat cable shaded to different colors based on the color ramp. Okay, here you can see that the color is actually mixed, so we will change it to constant, and we have the colors nicely separated. Okay, let's add a few more colors here and there. Okay, let's add yellow. I don't know if I think we already have yellow, so let's split it a little bit like this. Okay, so let's add cyan. Okay, green, maybe light green or something yellowish, greenish. Okay, let's also add black because we have also black strands in the cables. Let's also add a white strand. And also a purple one. Yeah. So here we have our cable. If we go to the modifier step and change the count, you can see that a lot of the other colors are used. If you want, play around with it. You can, I'm sure you can find a better setup than me. To get rid of these lines of these, the curve doesn't have enough subdivision. So to get rid of it, let's go to the curve tab and change the resolution of the curve to something like 48. Now we have a nice smooth curve. Okay, so we have created the strands. We have created the material for it. Also, let's change the roughness a little bit because the cables are usually quite smooth. They are not rough. So let's change it to something like this. And we are finished with this part. In the next one, we will add copper, uninsulated copper ends to each individual strand, and then we will continue with adding connectors. So stay tuned.